Hi, welcome to Heretic 3D. So let's take a roll of filament and turn it into this Daredevil Born Again Cowl. This particular file is from Nikko Industries, and you'll find a link to his site down in the description. So I'm going to take you on a short little trip here of how I turned a little roll of PLA filament into this. All right, let's get on the internet here and go to Nikko's site. Go check out the library here, quite a few files as you can see. Let's get over here to the Daredevil file. Click on that. Let's check out all the different renderings and download it. Take a look at both the STLs in here under the preview. And there is a version with the broken horn and a version with both horns intact. Decided to go with the intact version. Load up Elegoo Slicer and do this on the Elegoo Centauri carbon. Printed a 0.16 layer height with a 10% infill. And you can see both files there. It'll take about 26 hours. Standard tree supports, and of course, on a domed helmet, you can eliminate the center supports. As you can see, Elegoo didn't do the best job with their lighting in there, but it still puts out great quality as far as the print, and that's what matters. With it being a textured file, really can't see too many layer lines, which is a good thing. That cuts down on the post-processing, which I'm always a fan of. Alright, time to start doing some post-processing. Grab my little files here. About the only thing I really needed to sand down was some scarring from the supports. I am still getting the support settings dialed in, but everything else on the carbon's working fine with stock settings. I do want to apologize for the black lines you're going to see throughout the rest of the video. I did not realize until I was done that my camera and lights were fighting with each other. Now I'm grabbing the Bondo Spot Putty, which is one of my favorite little things to use when post-processing to smooth things out. Always remember to glove up. This stuff is kind of nasty, and you can't see it in here, but I am wearing a respirator. Keep all these nasty fumes and dust out of my lungs. But just going around with a dab here and there on my finger, getting all the high spots first and the damage areas. Does not take a lot on your finger to get this stuff to smooth out. A little dab will do you. Alright, pretty much gone around the entire bottom edge there. Get this stuff put up. Deglove and let the stuff dry. Now for a little bit of sanding, I did just jump straight to 120 grit. Let's get this knocked down and get it ready for the next step, which is good old filler primer. Kick the fan on there, and what you don't see is there is a fan in the doorway behind me that's causing a nice breeze through there. Put my little backstop up there, which you'll notice throughout the video I have a tendency of forgetting to put that up. Wipe down the helmet here real fast, get all the dust and dog hair, because I do have a dog and his hair gets everywhere. And first layer here, I'm just giving it a decent dusting, not a real heavy dusting, but not a super light dusting either. Now just hitting the spots that I may have missed or didn't get quite as much filler primer on as I wanted to. Now that that's all dried up, didn't have to do any more sanding, so I'm now hitting it with a base coat of flat black from Rust-Oleum. And again, just making sure I've got nice solid coverage all the way around it. Alright, time to bust out the airbrush. First color we're putting down is from Army Painter. It's Dragon Red. Ultimately going for a weathered leather look on this, just like it is in the series. And having a black base coat, kind of a little cheat code with making sure I get a nice weathering effect. So I'm blocking everything out right now, and you will see the occasional overspray. This is my first time using this particular airbrush, and still getting used to the trigger control. Alright, had to stand up to make sure I can get the top of the helmet and get it off that turntable to hit all the little nooks and crannies. Just continuing to go over and over with little sprays and coats here and there. A worn leather helmet is not going to have just fully packed out panels, so going for the same effect here. Gonna have some discoloration here and there, something that's been through as many fights as old Matt Murdock has been in this helmet. And now we are switching over to another army paint color, Chimera Red. This is what I'm going to do the horns and a couple little panels on the face in. Luckily by now I have gotten a little bit better at the trigger control on this particular airbrush. To the point I was confident enough in it that I didn't even bother doing any masking on this. And getting the eyepieces the same color. Little touch-ups here and there after everything had dried. Now we're busting out the Armor Painter Flat Black to do all the line work. And since I have not put any clear coat or protective coat on this yet, I am wearing a glove on the hand I'm holding it with so the paint doesn't come off. And after all that dried, a few more touch-ups, hit it with a satin clear coat, and it's done. Alright, and a few more shots of this thing out in the yard in the natural sunlight. Feel free to hit up the comment section down below with any feedback, critiques, questions. Say hi. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video.